everybody, it's Tuesday, so that means it must be magic maths time. It's the first magic maths session of this week, and it's the first one of our new story that we're going to be focusing on, and we're going to be focusing on Superworm. Another fabulous story by Julia Donaldson and Alex Scheffler. So we're really excited about this. We've done lots of it for Talk for Writing, and I'm sure that one of the teachers will probably read it to you at some stage as well. But my job is to get you to think about Superworm from a mathematical point of view. Oh, that sounds all clever, doesn't it? But it means that we're going to concentrate on the shape of Superworm, because Superworm, even though you can't see it in some of these pictures because he's super wiggly on a lot of these pictures, it says in the book that he was super long and super strong. So today we are going to think about Superworm being super long and super straight. So this is my Superworm. So the first thing I'm going to get you to do today, when I finish talking to you in my video, is it would be good if you could draw yourself a long super worm just like me. But he's got to be super straight, because this Superworm here is going to be your super ruler. You're going to use him today to measure objects up against him. We're going to see if Superworm is super long and super longer or shorter than some of the things found in my house. Okie dokie. And then you can go and do that in your house as well. Right, so let's get started. And the first thing we're going to do before we get busy with our maths is glasses on. So we're going to put Superworm there. There he goes. Going to swap him for the glasses so that the magic can begin. Are you ready? Because I won't be able to do any measuring without these on. Right, so the first thing that you will need to do, which is what I've done, is go and collect a few things from around your house. So let's have a little look and see what I've got. Well, I've got my normal glasses. They're my reading glasses. Toothbrush. Pair of big scissors, so to be careful if you've got some of those. Oh, got your nose. Dinner fork. Remote control for my TV. You know, I can smell this right from over here. A bar of soap. A felt tip pen. A rather long paintbrush. And finally, don't think Mrs. Bowen could live without these things, my hair straighteners. I'll take all the cables off there. There we go. My hair straighteners. Right. Oh, and then I have actually got one more thing. I've got my special laminator machine. That's the special machine that made Superworm all shiny, okay? Don't expect you to have one of those at your house, but I've got one here. So we've got all our different things that we are going to put Superworm next to see if he's longer or shorter than those things. Are you ready to work with me? Yeah? Great. Now, we're just going to try today. We're not going to do any writing down. We're just going to have a bit of a play. We are. So, if I put Superworm back where he was, but we're going to just take these bits of things off here. We'll come back to those in a minute. In fact, we'll put Superworm up here, which means I probably need to use some blue tack to stick him on. Okay, bit of blue tack here. And a bit of blue tack there. Should we put him up there so you can really see him? Put him just here, look. And hopefully you can see him there on the number line. There he is. Nice and long. There he is. Right, and now all we've got to do is lie the other objects underneath him, and then we can decide whether Superworm is longer or shorter, can't we? So let's start with the pen. We'll put the pen underneath. Now you tell me, is Superworm longer or is he shorter than that felt tip pen? Yeah, it's shorter. The pen is shorter, isn't it? He's longer. Superworm is much longer than that felt tip pen. Much longer. What about the remote control? Looks quite long, doesn't it? Does look quite long. Let's put that underneath Superworm. Is Superworm longer or shorter than the remote control? Superworm's longer than that as well, isn't it? Oh my. What about my hair straighteners? They are quite long, aren't they? From tip to tip, they are very long. Let's put those next to Superworm. Oh, I thought they were going to be the same, but they're not, are they? What do you notice? Yeah, Superworm is longer again than the hair straighteners. This looks like there's going to be a bit of a pattern going on here. What about these big scissors? They're quite long, aren't they? From here to there, they're really quite long. Let's see if Superworm is longer than those. Oh yes, he is. When that story said Superworm was long and strong, it wasn't telling fibs, was it? He really is long. He's longer than everything so far. So he's longer than the scissors. Now, this is where I'm going to get you to guess. It's called a prediction. If you look at that soap, even without me putting it next to Superworm, do you think that is longer than Superworm? It's not, is it? It's a bit of a silly question, really, because if I put that underneath Superworm, it's bound to be shorter. Yeah, look, it's just a tiny section of him, isn't it? Just a tiny section. Now, what about this great big long brush? What about that? Because that is very long, isn't it? Looks quite long to me. Let's have a go with that. No. So we still haven't found anything that is longer than Superworm. He was so long in the story. Nothing. We haven't found anything. What about the toothbrush? No. Even if we do it from his tail, look. It's not the same, is it? It's not longer than him. It's shorter still. Still shorter. And did we try the fork? No. Still shorter than Superworm. I think I've got one more thing. Can you remember I said I'd got my laminator? My big machine. Let's try that. Let's put that underneath Superworm. Oh, look everybody. We finally found something. What do you notice about that? Yes, the laminator is longer than Superworm. Wonder if you'd be longer than Superworm if you lay next to him. Do you think you would be? I think I might be, but I'm a grown-up. But you might be too. Now then, that's all the objects that we've measured in my house. So that's something that you can do in your house, is get a collection of objects together, and when you've drawn your Superworm, you can measure your Superworm at the side and see if he's longer or shorter than the things that you've found in your house. And then I'm just going to show you quickly something else that you could do as well. So I have sent this to your mums and your dads, and if you've got a printer, you can print it off. If you haven't, you can always draw some Superworms like these. You need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different worms, all different lengths. Okay? And then you've also got another sheet here that's got some leaves on it, and it says here, can you cut out the worms and order them shortest to longest along the line of leaves below? So I've got a pair of scissors somewhere. Oop, these big ones will do, won't they? Let's cut out one of these worms. You've got to cut out all of them really, or if you're drawing them, you've still got to cut out the ones that you've drawn. Cut them out, and when you've cut them out, you stick them on here. You'd put one there, and then you've got to cut them all out really. And do it nice and quickly. You've got to order them. You've got to decide which is the longest and which is the shortest. It's not difficult really, because I think you'll be able to see, won't you, which ones are the longest and the shortest. Right, I've done them all super quick. So here we go. Let's put that on there. If I quickly get a Pritt stick. Aha, I'm back. Right, and we'll have a go. So this is the longest one, isn't it? So it's telling you which is the longest one. Well, I'm going to put that one at the bottom because that one's the longest. Okay, that one's the longest. And then I'm having a look at all my worms again, and I'm deciding which is the shortest one, and I think it's this one. So I'm actually going to put that one at the top. I'm going to put that one there on the leaves. There we go. And I'm not going to do the rest because it's not really for me to do the work and you just copy off me. It's for you to do the thinking and you work it out, and then you do the work yourself. So there'll be 3 worms left over. Those 3 worms, 1, 2 and a third one, and you've got to work out where do they sit on those leaves, which one is the next longest and the next longest, and which one's the next shortest, going up in order, so longest to shortest. And that's something that you could do. So you could do that, but if you just want to find some objects in your house and measure them against your Superworm, then you could do that instead. Okie dokie. Have fun everybody then with your measuring, and I'll be back on Thursday and we'll do some different kind of measuring then. We'll still be using our Superworm idea, but I'll give you a little clue. We're going to be doing something that you roll in your hands and make into a lovely long worm shape. I wonder if you can guess what it is. Take care everyone, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.
Bye